I'm Ernest Mino and this is Joy News Prime. Welcome. Coming up, NDC takes its election 2020 fraud claims to the police, with the party now set to file a formal complaint 10 months after the elections.
With these facts and unimpeachable evidence before you, the NDC has no other choice than to accept the challenge by the Electoral Commission that the police should investigate the allegation of the printing of over 1 million excess ballot papers.
We have the latest as the party addresses a major news conference and labels the Electoral Commission's post-election posture as arrogant, disrespectful and unprofessional.
The National Democratic Congress, as a party, is deeply concerned about the conduct and posturing of the Electoral Commission as an institution of state.
And hey, did you know that a simple quarrel with a neighbor could result in a serious allegation that you are a witch?
Heard of witchcraft allegations. The fowl said I was not guilty. The chief then asked me to go back to Sakogu and ordered that we use dialogue to settle our differences.
You'd want to stay for the story of Asibi. Also here on Joy News Prime, Joseph Asitanga has led the burial of more than 500 human beings killed by COVID-19 in Ghana. In this bulletin, we have a piece on one of Ghana's COVID-19 heroes.
Anger is a name when you are given. It's more like a courageous spirit in you. That is the strength, the courage, the spirit of enthusiasm to do the thing somebody cannot do.
And coming up in business.
The Ministry of Trade and the Ghana Union of Traders Association make headway with talks to establish Ghana's Traders Bank.
Very soon we are going to launch the Traders Bank. That is even long overdue, as you all know, because we command the bulk of the savings that we do in the country, and yet we do not get the benefit thereof.
And later here on Joy News Prime, heaps of garbage take over the Tamale Teaching Hospital 3 days after ongoing strike by the Health Service Workers Union.
The sanitation situation in the hospital is so terrible. Somebody can just go and urinate and pour her whites down, and you will also go and urinate there and pick infections.
We have details of these stories and more here on Joy News Prime, coming to you live from our Fanofa studios at Kukumlemle here in Accra. We are live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV, it's 144. This is the home of independent, fearless, credible and impactful journalism. Stay tuned in. Hello again and thank you very much for joining us. A simple quarrel with a neighbor resulted in a serious allegation that she is a witch. Although a ritual declared her not guilty of being a witch, her accuser still chopped off her hand and fled. This is the story of Asibi Dut, a woman in the Northeast region who is pleading with the Ghana Police Service to give her justice. Jojo Kobna brings you snippets of his latest documentary, Finding the Witch Hunters.
A lady picked a quarrel with me, and her son accused me of being a witch. Later, the people in the village took me to the Gambaga witch camp. They performed rituals which showed I was not a witch, so I came back to the village. The boy came to attack me at home. He was aiming for my neck, but I blocked it with my hand and he chopped it off. He fled, and to date, the police say they can't find him. I was home alone. I was cooking when someone charged at me. He was aiming for my neck, but I saw it fast enough and instinctively blocked it with my hand. So my hand got chopped off.
That is the story of Asibi Dut, a 40-year-old woman who is a resident of Sakogu in the northeast region of Ghana. For the past 8 years, she has been living without one hand. Her woes started when a young man accused her of being a witch. Asibi said a lady in her community picked a quarrel with her, and subsequently The lady's son accused her of being a witch. Asibi took the accusation lightly, but realized the seriousness of the allegation when people in the community sent her to the witch camp in Gambaga to test whether she was a witch or not. The way a chicken died would determine her fate and the entire course of her life. In northern Ghana, when you are accused of witchcraft, you have to bear the full cost of the ritual. So Asibi took care of the full cost, and the ritual confirmed that she was not guilty.
I was cleared of witchcraft allegations. The fowl said I was not guilty. The chief then asked me to go back to Sakogu and ordered that we use dialogue to settle our differences.
Asibi, who was 8 months pregnant, said she thought she was free, but the young man had other plans.
I was home alone. I was cooking when someone charged at me. He was aiming for my neck. He tried to cut it off with a machete, but I saw it fast enough and instinctively blocked it with my hand. So my hand got chopped off. He then fled. To date, the police say they can't find him.
Asibi was left broken.
As soon as we say you are a witch, even small children can beat you. They can do anything to you, nobody cares.
She had now mastered ways of living independently and taking care of her son. Her husband also traveled to southern Ghana and never gets in touch with her. She feels pains when the remaining hand is not covered. She cooks and does many other chores with one hand. She feels the young man who chopped off her hand had stolen her joy in life.
I am really pained. I am hurt. Now I can't do anything. And the boy who did this to me is free.
Asibi is yearning for two things: money to start her own business, and also for the police to track down the perpetrator, who is still on the run.
I believe she's not asking for too much. Justice. We hope that those responsible can help her get that. And watch out for the full documentary of Jojo Kobina here on Joy News. Now, here's a job of many scope art, but his job is that one that's many scope art and one that all of us cannot live without. Joseph Asitanga has led the burial of more than 500 human beings killed by COVID-19 in Ghana in 1 year from difficult backgrounds, growing in one of Ghana's remotest places. Asitanga says he was born for this. Joy News' Justice Bedu spent a day watching him pick and bury COVID-19 victims. Here's his report.
I'm the only person at that time in my family who had access to education.
Joseph Asitanga's name means rock in Kusal, his native language spoken in the Upper East regional town of Zabila, where he comes from.
Asitanga is a name, when you are given, it's more like a courageous spirit in you. Wherever there are people and I'm there, if I get there, the environment changes. That is the strength, the courage, the spirit of enthusiasm to do the thing somebody cannot do.
He heads the team of environmental health workers who bury people killed by COVID-19. His workstation is in Accra, the epicenter of the pandemic in Ghana. More than half of all deaths from the pandemic have happened here.
I stood in front of a COVID patient. You see yourself sweating, breathing become an issue on you. You are sweating and struggling with your bed. I think we have buried more than 400 bodies in Awudome Cemetery here. If everybody is afraid, who would have worked at the mortuary? We are all afraid. Our departed relatives are in the mortuary, and we all fear. Who would have gone for the bodies to go and bury for you?
This is my private car. I'm not supposed to use it for this exercise. But because of commitment to the job, if I don't come, the bodies will be there. And nobody will understand why. So I have to sacrifice my own private car to augment what the only pickup that we have with the assembly.
Over 1,000 Ghanaians have died from COVID-19 after more than 100,000 infections. Joseph wants his work to be a constant reminder that COVID-19 is real and kills.
When we come in, why we use the siren at its higher peak is another form of educating and sensitizing the public that what sort of body is AMA carrying, and they are blowing the siren like that. So the moment you turn to the car, you see my people, hey, this is COVID, corona, corona, and they start running away. So they get back, they also tell their people that, hey, the COVID today, I saw the corona people, they call me corona man.
COVID was a pandemic that tore the world apart, but for Asitanga, it did also put him in a global spotlight. Justice Beidou, Joy News, Accra.
Kudos to Joseph Asitanga and all others who are in the front line of this pandemic. Now, heaps of garbage have taken over the Tamale Teaching Hospital after 3 days of the ongoing strike by the Health Service Workers Union. The various wards and kept washrooms stinking with urine, creating an unpleasant smell at the facility. Martina Bugri has more in this report.
From the entrance of the hospital to the corridors of the various consulting rooms and the compound of the entire TTH looks as if the place has not been cleaned for ages. Stench from the drains laced with algae and maggot has taken over the hospital, making it difficult for patients and caregivers to breathe. There is filth eventually everywhere, with the environment in a total mess. Madam Aisha says her father has been on admission for 3 days and she's unable to step into the washroom. She says one can easily pick infections from these washrooms. The sanitation situation in the hospital is so terrible. Somebody can just go and urinate and pour her white down, and you will also go and urinate there and pick infections. When you look at the gutters, it's filled with maggot and flies. The whole place is in a terrible situation. What we are asking is that they come back just for our sake. We are pleading with them for God's sake, they should return back to work. Another caregiver says the entire place is a total mess. For patients, they would have to bear with it and so have to be cleaned instead of bathing.
Most Romania Bancana Durma, Cleaner Lama Bazazo, the caretakers have all gone. Sometimes it is the women who sell things here that pick the rubbish on the compound. As for the washrooms, we can't talk about them. They are in a terrible shape and dirty. What we are doing now is to clean the patients. They can't use the washrooms to bath because of how bad the washrooms are. Ama barnama na tala ba mimleso be ngun dundul ben to san kan shama ta kwana mboala ma fune ama tan bargul ma to surukom to ko to sukom.
Earlier in the day, the public relations officer of the TTH, Mesbah Mohammed, had described the situation as total mess and a breakdown of activities at the facility. The patients and caregivers appealed to government to listen to the concerns raised by the health workers and address them to enable them return back to work. For Joy News, Martina Bugri reported.
Let's do some politics now. It's been a long-running battle between the Electoral Commission and the opposition National Democratic Congress, with accusations and counter-accusations press conferences and counter press conferences. Now, the NDC says they have had enough and will now take their case of alleged voter fraud to the police. At a news conference today, General Secretary of the party, Johnson Esiedin Ketia, provided circumstances leading to their discovery of extra 1 million ballot papers.
On 20th November 2020, the waste material for InnoLink printing press were destroyed under the supervision of the EC and security agencies in the presence of party agents who duly signed the certificate of disposal, dated 20th of November 2020. Subsequently, the plates with which the printing is done were also destroyed on 25th November 2020, and representatives of EC, InnoLink, political parties, and the security agencies duly signed the certificate of disposal and were given copies. It stands to reason that by that date, all waste material had been destroyed. However, when the printed ballots at InnoLink were transported to Ashanti region on 22nd of November 2020, it was discovered that there was a problem with the ballots of Afija Kwabre South constituency, and therefore the ballot booklets were returned for reprinting. Afija Kwabre, I want to believe, is the constituency for the National Security Minister. I believe so. Upon their return to InnoLink printing press on 25th November, our agents went there to supervise the reprinting of the ballot papers of the said constituency and discovered, to their dismay, boxes of ballot papers concealed in one of the offices. When they caused the boxes to be opened, they were found to contain excess presidential ballot papers for Ashanti region. Alarmed by what they saw, they filmed the ballots and inquired from the supervisors what those ballots were meant for. I believe the picture will show, because it was the hand of God that sent us back to InnoLink for us to discover that these are ballot booklets. All these things printed and starts somewhere in one of their rooms. When confronted, the supervisors at InnoLink gave all manner of incoherent answers. One claimed that it was backup. Backup meaning that when the ballot papers ran out in Ashanti region, they will still come and have some to go and add. The other lady in charge of the binary claimed that they were meant for runoff. So they knew the presidential election was going to go into a runoff, so they must print the ballot papers in advance.
Now, Johnson Esiedin Ketia challenged the IGP to probe their claims and resolve what he believes to be more serious crimes that characterized the 2020 elections.
With these facts and unimpeachable evidence before you, the NDC has no other choice than to accept the challenge by the Electoral Commission that the police should investigate the allegation of the printing of over 1 million excess ballot papers. We are going a step further to lodge an official complaint with the police and to provide them with the evidence and assistance to investigate the matter to unravel the truth for all Ghanaians to see. We take note with satisfaction of Bosman Asare's call on Ghana's police service to investigate the facts put out by President Mahama. Given that President Mahama was on solid ground when making these statements, the NDC stands ever prepared to assist in any credible investigation into the matters raised.
The NDC also raised concern with the posturing of the Electoral Commission, describing it as arrogant, disrespectful and unprofessional. Asedi Ketia had some strong words, particularly for Deputy Chairman of the EC, Dr. Bosman Asare, who addressed the EC press conference on Monday.
The National Democratic Congress, as a party, is deeply concerned about the conduct and posturing of the Electoral Commission as an institution of state, whose actions are subject to the Constitution and, for that matter, have subscribed to their oath of office to act in the best interests of the people of Ghana. These officers are also paid by the taxpayer, and the activities of the Commission itself are financed by sale. Our worry, ladies and gentlemen, is premised on the arrogant, disrespectful, and unprofessional manner in which officers of the Electoral Commission, including the highest echelons, have been addressing the people of Ghana in recent times. In this instance case, the posturing, choice of words, demeanor, and temperament of Bosman Asare are, to say the least, unacceptable. For a man who has been privileged to occupy such an elevated office, one would have thought he would exude the sober aura of a thoughtful and reflective academic who has been given the opportunity to occupy such a high office, even if under controversial circumstances. Unfortunately, this is not what we have foreseen on, and that is not what we have been seeing with the EC in recent times. What we witnessed on Monday smacks of a typical MPP party foot soldier who was given a statement from the party headquarters or Jubilee House to read to the press.
The Volta caucus in Parliament is calling on the National House of Chiefs to compel President Akufo-Addo to render an unqualified apology to the paramount chief of Aflao Todbe Ajogaga Amenya Fiti the fifth over his response to the concerns raised by the chief. Now, the president, while addressing the Aflao chief's concern about the abandoned E-block project in this area, observed that if the chief is frustrated about the delay of the project, he should go and complete it. But in the view of the minority, the comment is an attack on the chieftaincy institution. The NDC MPs, who say they are under pressure from their constituents, insist drastic measures will be taken against the president if he fails to render the apology. Here's the Member of Parliament for Norton, Samuel Okujeto-Ablakwa, who spoke to the media.
Fiti the fifth is not the first chief to be raising legitimate concerns about this culture of abandoned projects. Why is it that he is the only chief to be responded to in this manner? So we are all in solidarity with our dear colleague from the Ketu South constituency. We are considering our options. You have asked about what next if the president refuses to apologize. We have seen the president apologize to the good people of the Central region. If he thinks that as for the Volta region, you can malign our chiefs, lampoon them, discriminate against them, descend on them in such a disrespectful and disdainful manner, and you will refuse to retract and apologize, be rest assured, as a caucus, we will consider what the response from the president will be, and we will decide on our next steps, which we will duly communicate to you. So be rest assured that this matter is not ending here. And you can imagine the pressure we are under from the chiefs and people of the Volta region to ensure that the president does what is right and accords the people of the Volta region and indeed the chieftaincy institution, this matter, as our dear colleague has said, quoting from UNESCO, all the way to our constitution and our cultural policy. It is clear that this is an affront, it is an attack on the chieftaincy institution generally. And we expect even the National House of Chiefs to take a serious view of this matter, because many chiefs are going to continue to be partners in development. They will offer their land. They will speak on behalf of their people as custodians of our traditions and our heritage. They will speak to the development in their various jurisdictions.
Meanwhile, the Ketu South MP Ablaji Faguma, she says the minority will begin to raise funds to complete the project.
The respected traditional ruler merely advocated for an abandoned E-block in his community to be completed so his people will have fair access to education. As citizens and bona fide taxpayers, that wasn't too much to ask. Togbi Ajongaga Amanyafiti V, Daho, of the Aflau traditional area, deserves praise for prioritizing education and speaking out against the culture of abandoning inherited projects. He does not deserve such disrespect from the President of the Republic of Ghana. The President's conduct, which we do not see him exhibit against chiefs from other parts of the country, is a total affront to the entire Volta region and the Aflau traditional area in particular. We demand a retraction and apology from His Excellency the President. A united Ghana with a common destiny is undermined by such reckless and discriminatory conduct of the President. Going forward, I will be launching a GoFundMe account for donations to finish the E-block as instructed by the President's infamous retort, and I entreat all Aflauvio and well-meaning Ghanaians to donate generously.
The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is finally here with so many attractive deals for prospective homeowners. The 80 exhibitors at the Accra International Conference Center have promised to aid patrons to choose from a variety of lands, homes and accessories available. Hannah Odame was at the opening ceremony and now reports.
The debate to either buy or build will definitely be settled here at the Accra International Conference Center in the next 5 days, all because exhibitors are poised to give you the best. For instance, Isaac tells me that Lakeside Estate has something good for you.
Regardless of the amount of money inside your pocket, you can purchase a house at Lakeside Estate.
Somebody is budgeting right now as they listen to you. Give the person an approximate amount that he or she should be saving towards to be able to purchase a home from Lakeside.
At Lakeside Estate, as you are saving towards, I am giving you a house not more than 400,000 Ghana cedis at Lakeside Estate.
If you want to build, you definitely need paint. And PyTech International will definitely help you out. I have with me here
for the paint from falling off as well.
After you have built, you definitely need your lights. And I am here with the operations manager as well.
With Global Lighting, we deal in household lighting. We also deal with commercial and industrial lighting as well. Anything lighting, we got you covered.
You should come and buy from us because we have affordable and we have quality furnitures. You come to us, you choose your style, then we produce for you.
Yes, and of course, I definitely have to try it. I mean, how comfortable it is. You would love to really, really sleep on such a bed.
These doors have a solid system which comes with 14 central locking system.
It's running from today to the 1st of November 2021 at the Accra International Conference Center. There are lots of discounts available here, lots of options to choose from. Please come to this venue. Don't miss out because you need to be a homeowner. From the Accra International Conference Center, where the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is taking place, my name is Hannah Odame for Joy News.
And I'll definitely be at the fair. Hope to see you there. Let's take advantage of this and all the deals on offer. You're watching Joy News Prime with me, Ernest Menu. And still to come in business, plans are far advanced for the establishment of the Ghana Traders Bank. President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, revealed to Joy Business that the specialized bank will deal with long-life challenge of high interest rates that face Ghana's informal traders.
Very soon we are going to launch the Traders Bank. That is even long overdue, as you all know, because we command the bulk of the savings that we do in the country, and yet we do not get the benefit thereof.
And you're welcome to Business. I'm Charles Aite. To our first story, plans are far advanced for the establishment of the Ghana Traders Bank. Now, the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, revealed to Joy Business that the specialized bank will deal with the lifelong challenge of high interest rates that so many informal traders in Ghana do face.
Like the minister said, this is just to provide a comfort for them. This is not something that you can say compensation. It's a grant that is given to them so that they can use it to mitigate some of their problems. So I think we welcome it and we are very happy. But having said that, like the traders themselves have said, they want a bigger money to trade with. Because if you look at the damages that were caused, it was so huge to the extent that this cannot at least alleviate all their plight. So they want a mainstream commercial bank that is affordable, and that's what we are discussing with Minister. But having said this, let me take advantage also to also let you know the discussions that is going on, and very soon we are going to launch the Traders Bank. That is even long overdue, as you all know, because we command the bulk of the savings that we do in the country, and yet we do not get the benefit thereof. The mainstream banks are taking it all from us. So now arrangement is far ahead for us to also establish Ghana Traders Bank, where the ministry have given us consultancy. We are going to formalize the SUSU kind of loans and all that, and put it in a very innovative way so that we can give loans to ourselves at affordable rates.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Trade and Industry has presented a little over 2 million cedis to enterprises affected by the July 5th Makola fire disaster. The Sector Minister, Alan Tremantin, reiterated the government support for the country's informal sector. The Chief Executive of the Ghana Enterprise Agency, Kosi Yanke IM, also laid out the disbursement process so far to Joy Business.
Before we actually came here, we had done an assessment and a registration for the markets, those who had been impacted. And then, as I had mentioned today in my speech, they should meet the Ghana Enterprises Agency next week, have a conversation, and then they'll be directed to the consolidated CBG, where the accounts would be open for them to take the funding.
So from next week?
So from next week, the engagements with the Ghana Enterprises Agency will start.
So
when are we expecting the entire fund to be exhausted?
Exhausted? Exhausted means that some might not be used for them. So what is happening is that the funds would go, the amount of funds we've earmarked for them is with them. So it depends on how fast they go, and then take the accounts that they've been given.
So the money is shared equally, or based on what you lost, that's how it's going to be disbursed to them?
Unfortunately, due to the sizes of their businesses, it will not be allocated equally.
So
Thank you.
It's going to be based on what you sell, what you used to sell?
Based on the type of business, the monies would be allocated to them.
That was Kosi Yanke Aya, the Chief Executive of Ghana Enterprises Agency, ending this segment of business. We have sports coming up.
Thanks for staying with us. Time to bring you sport. I'm Hans Mensah Ando. The Ghana Football Association has introduced a no vaccination, no entry policy into the competition venues with immediate effect. President of the football governing body, Keto Kweku, said the move is for the betterment of the football community. My colleague Muftar Nabil Abdullah has the rest of the story.
Per a document available to Joy Sports, the Ghana Football Association made less than 500,000 Ghana cedis in last season Ghana Premier League. However, a president of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okreku, has announced that if you want to have access to their products as a fan, you must be fully vaccinated. This, many believe, could be counterproductive. But Mr. Okreku explained that the move is for the betterment of the football community.
What is good is that the government is going to roll out a lot of vaccines. I understand even this week we are having 5 million vaccines coming into the country. So there's a lot more vaccine available to the people. And we want to ensure that we enjoy our sport in our usual manner, where we can chant and sing, like it's currently happening across Europe. People go into the stadium even without a face mask, okay? And they're enjoying their sport because they've been vaccinated. And once we have the chance to be vaccinated, we need to encourage our people to be vaccinated. And we're starting from our good selves. I have vaccinated. All our Premier League clubs, Division 1 League clubs and Women Premier League clubs are going to be vaccinated. And we encourage our direct consumers also to be vaccinated. So we are free. Because at the end of the game, players will go out into the system and they don't want to be at risk anymore. Okay, so I would encourage everybody to be vaccinated so we can enjoy our footy again. It is with the immediate effect. Players are being vaccinated as we speak. The government is rolling out the vaccines again this week. So it's happening side by side.
The discussions were serene. Members had gone through the document before assembling. So there were no many activities at the Congress of the Ghana Football Association, which happened at its technical center in Prom Prom. Some of the key highlights were the acceptance of last year's financial statements and the approval of the next budget for the Football Association, which is about 58 million Ghana cedis, 13 million less than what the FA approved for the Secretariat in their last Congress last year. So in terms of the Congress of the Ghana Football Association, one would say it was a success. But there are other components of the football community that contribute greatly to the development of the product football in the country. One of the sectors is the refereeing sector. Referees manager of the Ghana Football Association, Alex Corte, has indicated to Joy Sports the football governing body could just be rolling out a mini video assistant referee with broadcast right holders of the Ghana Premier League.
I want to discuss with Star Times to see what we can do in the interim. Okay, if we can create something, if not even closer to VAR, but something where the referees will get a second access to their, to major incidents, and then see how best they can review it and then come back. It's something that we want them to discuss. If we are not able to finish it within this week, of course, the league is starting from tomorrow. I'm supposed to rush there. I was supposed to meet them yesterday, but we couldn't meet. So today, if I'm able to get to Accra on time, we will see. But if we are not able to finalize, maybe in a week or two, we will finalize it and then we'll try and experiment it, do some pilot work and see how it works.
Is it going to be more of replay stuff for referees?
Yes. Because Star Times have the replay tool, and so they will want to try with that one and then we'll see how it works.
A perfect implementation of this idea by the referees department of the Ghana Football Association could just maybe save the product Ghana football from the litany of allegations leveled against referees in Ghana football. If there's anyone who wants the betterment of Ghana football, it is a community that assembled here. And the decisions that were accepted by everyone clearly shows that there is a new path for everyone involved in football in the country. For Joy Sports, from the Ghana Soccer Center of Excellence, from Prom, I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi.
Muftau Nabila with that report there, and then sports. Of course, there'll be more sports later in the bulletin.
And there's a new kid on the block here on Showbiz on Joy News Prime. Ivy.
Yo,
you're welcome.
Thank you so very much.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you have for us today?
So let me first start off with Ochami Kwame. I don't know if you also share the same thoughts that he is not a trendy musician. He is kind of old, so his music has passed. Do you also share in that same thoughts?
I think he's not giving you the bangers, but he's doing something right. because when you look at the industry, if you need him, if you're looking at people, who can drive development, who can drive campaigns, he's the man you're looking at.
Okay, well, I think you're hitting the nail right on the head. Ochami Kwame is saying that he's moved away from doing popular songs to doing developmental songs.
Okay.
I asked him in the question, right, like you're saying, what is he doing right that he's staying very, very relevant for 24 years? And that is what he said. But let's listen to him, how he put it.
What to sing to fit an occasion. When you're writing music, do you have that at the back of your mind?
Well, I think that after 24 years in this industry, I've come to realize that I am slowly shifting from the artist that makes popular music to the artist that makes developmental music. So when I am making music, I make music that will fit my objective, which is music that will bring development. And that is why every time we gather people and we are to do something to save humanity, I'm the one they call, because I've made lots of songs and also position my creativity to fit with the concept of development.
Another thing I want to find out from you, and it's probably on a lot of mouths, that, Ochami's time has passed as a musician, but when you look at all these corporate events, these up-class, up-tempo events, it is Ochami Kwame who's on stage. What are you doing right? What should these younger generational musicians do to be able to also to get to this position?
Well, I don't know. I think you should just be yourself, because we all can do the same thing. So I love development, and to us, I'm growing. I'm finding the niche or the area of development that's very exciting, and because it is always top of mind for me, I'm always creating and getting associated with it. So if you are an artist and you are interested in development, I think that is a great place to be, because you don't just make music to excite people. You make music that brings people together, that forges a certain idea of let's make the world a better place. And I think Michael Jackson did the same, Bono did the same, and I am on that path. So if you are an artist and you love to bring development through your music, don't stop. Keep doing, and if you do that, your music will never pass, because development is timeless.
So you notice that every time there's Made in Ghana, people go for a song.
Yes, a Made in Ghana album. Exactly. Yes, the Made in Ghana album.
But finding a fine balance is important.
So let me quickly ask you this. Kojenchi or that Lumba?
Oh, Kojenchi any day.
Oh, so you are on the same track with the American ambassador, Stephanie. Well, she was also at the event.
I'm not surprised.
She was at the event, which was a fashion show done for the climate conference at the High Commissioner's residence. And she says, she's a huge fan of Kojenchi. And guess what? She sang one of her favorite Kojenchi songs.
Oh, I want to hear that.
Take a listen to it.
First place.
Well, I'm not so big on fashion, but I'm big on recycling. And so I think the upcycling and raising awareness about the tremendous problem with the landfills, with fast fashion, I think that's a very noble thing to highlight.
Well, indeed, a noble thing to highlight, and also affecting the country positively. That's the lookout. Well, ever since you've been in Ghana, how has it been for you, the weather and everything? How have you been able to get accustomed to it?
So, I've been here before for 4 years, so I'm really happy to be back. I'm very happy here. But as the weather goes, I've seen many changes. It shouldn't be raining this time of year, and so I know it's a challenge for the farmers, for example. And I think we all need to take the climate crisis very seriously.
Well, I don't know about entertainment. Have you been following any of the entertainment disciplines here in Ghana? The movies, the music?
I would say the music, mostly, yeah.
Any favorite music or any favorite musician?
So, I'm a big fan of Kojo Antwi from the old times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any song that you can remember?
Daria no me, baje me la te komodo.
But I think she's done very well.
I want to ask you to rate her.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Ivy. That's it for Showbiz. If you're watching us on Joy Prime, that's it for the bulletin. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're on Joy News, we have more stories for you. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us here on Joy News Prime. The quest of Bernard Enchibo-Siaku to recontest the chairmanship of the NPP in the Ashanti region is threatened as persons with interest in the position gain popularity at the Regional Delegates Conference. NPP chairman of Ifija Kwabre South, Odeneho Kweku Apia, and former Ejisu MP Kwabena Owusu-Ediomi are among individuals whose presence was strongly felt on the grounds. A former NPP organizer in the US, Kofi Edumbewa, also has expressed interest in leading the party in the region. Nana Ojima engaged some supporters of the candidate and filed this report.
Two-term chairman of the NPP, Bernard Enchibo-Siaku, is perhaps the most popular party executive in the Ashanti region. The popularity of Chairman Wontumi was evident when he arrived at the conference grounds. The incumbent chairman, who is pursuing a third-term agenda to win a third term for the NPP, has some love. Many wore his campaign T-shirts to register their support.
We all have different expectations of a leader, and he has met mine. I can't disclose what exactly he has done for us, but everyone is aware.
He won political power for the party in 2016 and 2020. I pray he helps us win power again in 2024.
That 2024 was hard yaba. On say Chairman Wontumi no or any pebia okay NDC crowd more attention ano a otimi mo ema o motimi be kan party no na wunya obi a o leader sa na o pese otimi twamanfo a o mukura kan party no e be kan wo de no ho a.
But some party people believe Wontumi's inability to keep all seats the MPP won in 2016 after the 2020 general election is enough reason to unseat him. They believe he has lost touch with the grassroots. Chairman for Ifija Kwabre South NPP, Odeneho Kweku Apia, who intends to contest Chairman Wontumi, is fast gaining roots among party delegates.
We are here to support Odeneho Kweku Apia, and we want a leader who supports the youth, not only the family. Yeah, that's why we are supporting him, and he has a vision. He has a vision for the youth.
We follow Wontumi to do so many things, but Wontumi, hey, we'll give you 10 cedis or wave you. No. We'll just wave you. Well, you have me come and say we need more into.
Yeah, Baba Twaba obey good. Our new studio. Yeah, the party among us and don't just obey good was studio say. We something in free wa who go the chain will be a Saka Sanokra my Lusui.
T-shirts and banners branded Kwabena Owusu-Ediomi, who is rumored to be interested in the position, were also visible on the grounds. His supporters showed numbers as well. A former NPP organizer in the US, Kofi Edumbewa, also had his branded mineral water to quench the thirst of delegates in the hot afternoon. In all the heat up to the polls, Chairman Bernard Enchibo-Siaku wants the politicking to be devoid of insults when nominations are opened.
I humbly request that we base our campaigns on issues but not insults. Put forward your ideas. We are a family. Let no one insult the other because of their affiliation.
No insult.
For Joy News, Nana Ojima, Kumasi.
Statesman and founding member of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, has described President Akufo-Addo as, quote, the most lawless president Ghana has ever had, unquote. Now he's calling for an immediate investigation into incidents of chaos and confusion recorded at the approval of the Metropolitan Municipal district chief executives in some parts of the country. Addressing the press at the residence on Thursday, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo decried the culture of impunity in the local government system, attributing the situation to President Akufo-Addo. According to him, the president does not respect the rule of law.
Before I begin, permit me to state without any fear of contradiction that Akufo-Addo is the most lawless president Ghana has ever had, and do not believe in rule of law. This act of his in recent times has found its way into our local government system. Our dear country continues to grow in its democratic dispensation, and a significant growth must be seen in our decentralization system to aid peace and development in our localities. As the purpose of its establishment requires. But what do we see today? This government led by Nana-Addo has taken our dear nation back. Looking at happenings in the recent confirmation of chief executives at the various assemblies, this act cannot be glossed over as a nation because it is undermining the democracy that we have enjoyed for the past 28 years and still counting.
Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo also said the allegations of bribery and confusion in some areas is a dent on the country's democracy. He's called on the IGP and Parliament to investigate the issues accordingly.
Most reasons given by the Assembly members for their rejecting are lack of development in their localities, lack of good human relation on the part of the chief executives, and many other reasons. The chief executives are indeed suffering from the deeds of their appointer, who has starved the assemblies of their common fund for 4 quarters and had wickedly introduced the capping system to take part of the monies meant for development of their localities. I call on the government, the Ghana Police Service led by Dr. Dampare, and the Parliament of Ghana to, as a matter of urgency, effect an investigation into these happenings in the various assemblies in order to bring those perpetrators of this undemocratic act to book. These acts continue to dent our image as a country and violate the fundamental human rights and freedom of the 1992 Constitution, Chapter 5. In this case, the right to vote. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, Ghana is a democratic state ruled by law, and the law must be applied to whoever violates it or sidestep it for their individual gain.
Meanwhile, the founding member of the NPP believes that despite what he refers to as Akufo-Addo's poor leadership, the party has what it takes to return to its roots and redeem its image.
Names that you say have been mentioned, I have not even seen any of them, and I don't know any of them. I don't know them. I know them physically, maybe. But I can assure you that this party will go back to its roots. But this party was formed through the sweat of individuals who have unfortunately have passed on. People suffered for the formation of the MPP. People died indeed. And I believe strongly that whoever is going to take over this party in the next coming elections must be a person who is democratic in and out, not a pretender. That's all.
Are you describing the current leader as a pretender? If you say not
I have not described anyone, and I'm not afraid to call a pretender a pretender.
Now, away from the NPP, Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Otumfuo Saitutu II, has warned encroachers of the university land to stay off or face his wrath. He says any chief who allocates part of the KNUST land will have himself to blame. The Asantehene dared anybody claiming to own a part of the university land to head to court, adding he will face the court to state his authority over the lands.
Speaking at the launch of the 70th anniversary celebrations of the university, the Asantehene indicated the benefits the university bring are bigger than what any individual earned from selling the land. Otumfuo therefore advised the citizenry not to consider the excess land capacity as waste, since it would serve a purpose in the coming years.
Let me use this platform to highlight a very disturbing development which has come to my attention in recent times, and that is the encroachment of university lands. I condemn it in no uncertain terms and strongly send a note of caution to all those involved to desist from it or face my wrath. And let me warn the communities, the chiefs, and whoever. The lands are mine, and you are just caretakers to those lands. There's no family land here in Ashanti. No Abusuapanyin can claim that the land belongs to him, and therefore he has a right to alienate a portion of the land of the university lands at all. And you can go to any court, take it there. I'm sure also there will be a judge who will know that the Constitution and the Constitution of Ashanti says that there's no family land in Ashanti. And therefore, get the lawyers to take you to court. But I'll get the court also to turn over their decisions. I'll get the court also to turn over their decisions to affirm my authority on the lands here.
The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Mrs. Rita Akusia-Dixon, commended the government for the staff recruitment clearance. She, however, emphasized that it is inadequate.
Nana Chancellor, the university has also seen growth in staff numbers, which currently stands at over 3,000. This notwithstanding, the number of academic staff of the university is not commensurate with the number of students with respect to the prescribed staff to students ratio, STR. Currently, the average STR of the university stands at 1:63 for regular learners. This ratio soars to a new high of 1:76 when we add our distance learners. This ratio is in sharp contrast to the requirement of the Ghana Tertiary Education.
Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Educhum, hinted at the government's plan to whip up the interest of STEM education among Ghanaian students by establishing STEM-focused schools.
The second industrial revolution passed Africa by. The third we are grappling, and the fourth now is here. This is the only opportunity we have to put poverty at bay and to ensure that together we can transform our nation. And that is why the President has directed that the ministry emphasize science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Next academic year, we are opening about 10 schools that is focused on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We want them to capture the content that will be taught in the first year of engineering programs in such a way that by the time they get here, they are taking advanced classes and you are moving them on.
The Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boaje, has charged local and traditional authorities in rural areas to provide pull factors capable of attracting health professionals as government works towards introducing incentive packages aimed at motivating more health workers into accepting postings to deprived communities. He made this call when he visited the Bono East region as part of a tour of the region to ascertain the challenges facing the health sector there. My colleague Anas Abit has more in this report.
The historic visit by the Director General of the Ghana Health Services to the Bono East region was to primarily assess the health structure of the region as well as devise ways of helping in improving healthcare delivery of the area. Dr. Patrick Kuma Abuaji reiterated government's efforts towards ensuring that a regional medical store will be instituted and areas without district hospitals are catered for through government's Agenda 111 program.
The region was created and our health services was established in the region, primarily the regional office in Kintampo. We've not come to visit them, so we are here to observe the work they've done, look at their challenges, see how they have settled in and see what else we need to do to assist them settle better and also improve on the healthcare that they're doing. So we'll be visiting a couple of their centers, meet some of their partners to see how we can better improve the health of the region. There are 4 districts that are benefiting from the district hospital, but there are 4 out of the 11 districts that do not have hospitals, and they have been catered for in the policy. And then we're also looking at getting them a new regional medical stores in collaboration with the Ministry of Health to ensure that they are able to stock their systems and manage their logistics appropriately. So that's why how they benefit from that.
He further called traditional authorities living in rural areas to provide pull factors that will attract health professionals as government works towards instituting incentives capable of motivating health workers into accepting postings to deprived communities.
It is a general problem, especially movement of staff into the rural areas and so-called deprived areas. We are working on deprived area incentive to push them. We are also appealing to the people and chiefs of the region and other agencies that they must also provide a pull factor. They must also put systems in place that allows people to come in. When people come in, they should have a place to stay. They should be properly welcomed. They should be managed properly so that they can also attract more people into the most rural areas of the country.
Some participants from major private facilities in Techiman appealed to government to support private health providers with logistics and human resources to aid the provision of healthcare in the area. Dr. Glasson Kessie is the Chief Executive Officer at the Techiman Mount Olives Hospital.
I wish to use this opportunity and appeal to your office that when it comes to human resources support, I want to suggest if we can start from a low key of maybe seconding midwives to these hospitals, as a test case for us to see. I also wish to appeal to your office that if they can also support with logistics like ultrasound, fetal Dopplers, and other logistics that will support the maternal care delivery. It will also help.
The Director General also paid a courtesy call on the Paramount Chief of the Techiman Traditional Council, Osiadeyo Ekumfi Amiao IV, where he assured the authorities of government's commitment towards establishing a regional hospital in the Techiman municipality.
Of course, a new region, so they're also going to get a regional hospital here in Techiman. Nana has just told about the allocation of the land, so that will all be part of it.
Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Techiman.
Aggrieved assembly members in the Bibiani Ahuan Sobekwan municipality have staged a demonstration against the confirmation of Alfred Amwa as the municipal chief executive. The 33 elected assembly members who could not take part in the election to confirm the MCE have threatened to block the MCE's office if the confirmation process is not reversed. The aggrieved assembly members on Thursday demonstrated at Bibiani in the Western North region.
The MCE, Alfred Amwa, was confirmed by 19 out of the 52 assembly members at Bibiani in the Western North region on October 10. These included 16 government appointees and 3 elected assembly members. Majority of the demonstrators are assembly members who alleged they were denied voting rights. The 33 elected assembly members deemed the process to elect Alfred Amwa unconstitutional. They held placards in a protest through some streets of Bibiani. At a point in their procession, misunderstanding ensued on their planned routes, but the police and the leadership soon reached an understanding. Martin Depot Dakon spoke on behalf of his colleagues at the forecourt of the Bibiani Amyaso Bekwai Municipal Assembly.
This petition telling the local government minister to come and rerun the election and invite all the 52 assembly members to come and either confirm or reject the president nominee.
The MC was not in the area at the time of the demonstration.
Now, it's common knowledge that money is a major challenge confronting entrepreneurs. So, when the office of a young entrepreneur who owned a bank 600 Ghana cedis was locked up, the expectation was that he would throw his hands up in despair. But Big Godwin Mate, who runs a software company, WebSoft Solutions, refused to succumb to the obstacle. Instead, he put on a shirt and tie and marched to the bank to work there until his debt was paid. Now he has been sharing his story on how to do business in Ghana on the Super Morning Show.
Many years ago, my office was still at Fadama, Bombay, small office there. One day, I woke up and Eunice called me and said, I'm out in the office, but they've locked the office. He checks it, they mentioned the name of a bank. That I owed about 600 cedis or so. Forgotten the exact amount. I went to the bank and I went to tell the manager there that you guys have come to lock my office. My computer is there. That's why I used to work. So at least come and open it. Let me take my computer so I can work to look for money for you. They said, once they have logged it, they can't open it except I pay. Then the thing had got to the MD. So the CEO called me. And I sat in front of him. He said, why have you been coming to the bank or insisting that you work when you are not a staff? Then I told him that I have only one option. Either I confront destiny with violence and win, or go back home, defeated, unfulfilled, and die in my poverty. He looked at me and said he's afraid of my future. Okay.
So what did they agree in the end?
So they agreed that then they should open their office for me. So they came to open it. In the next 6 months to 8 months, that same bank that came to lock my office became my client. And I went to sit down to think about what can I even do for this same bank so that they themselves will pay for the debt and I still make more money from them.
This is Johnny's Prime. We're taking a short break. Don't go away.
And of course, you're welcome to Business. I'm Charles Aiti. The chairman of the Mines and Energy Committee in Parliament, Samuel Otachiab, has called for the prosecution of those behind the several power purchasing agreements during the power fluctuation era, saying that they did a big disservice to the economy. According to him, the agreements were in violation of the Public Procurement Act since they were not subject to competitive bidding. Speaking at a forum organized by the Institute of Economic Affairs, the Member of Parliament for Abuakwa South said the signing of these PPAs had caused financial loss to the state. We have more in this report.
The forum brought together industry experts, policymakers, civil society organizations, and economists. Samuel Atachian said it's absurd for the country to lose several millions of cedis even up till today due to the signing of these PPAs. According to him, there's the need for standardization of power agreements to prevent the recurrence of the past.
I do not understand a situation in which a poor man will say he will sign a contract with a dimension called take or pay. I've always wondered why you will ever do that. That is to say, when there is excess capacity, even when you don't need the energy that has been generated, you pay for it. So it seems to me that probably in the arrangement to solve the energy crisis of the moment, we suspended our rationality. And I say this not to insult anybody, because if we didn't calculate the impact of these contracts we signed, then as Riley said, that in 2018 alone, excess generation capacity arising out of signed PPA cost the government about 320 million in capacity charges. So I think that is an unpardonable commercial arrangement. And if you ask me as a lawyer, it's causing financial loss to the state.
Mr. Atachian also said the nation has been shortchanged because the PPAs were not done in a transparent manner. He expressed worry that the country is gambling with its little resources.
I do not believe that a poor person should gamble with his little resources. I don't believe in it. when your resources are very limited, with the greatest of respect, that's when you should be extremely wise in the way that it will give you the best advantage. So we should look at this again. It should never be said that in the entire West Africa, our power, the cost of our power is more expensive than any of the African countries. When the natural resources we have, if you measure the natural resources that we have against some of these West African countries, we are so naturally endowed.
The chief executive of the Chamber of Independent Power Producers, Elikplim Kwablan Apetogbo, for his part, urged government to create the enabling platform for the regulators, agencies and assigns to discharge their roles professionally and objectively without interference. He, however, kicked against political interference if the sector is to thrive.
Power generation capacity procurement is largely informed by the demand for electricity. Most importantly, economic, industrial, and residential use. And this requires the off-taker as a first step to conduct a study to assure itself of demand quantum for the power in collaboration with the technical regulator, that is the Energy Commission. And this study must not be based on only the grid or the current demand, but must also consider anticipated changes in demand over time, as a result of population growth or economic growth. So meeting this calculated, confirmed and predicted demand, as well as the urgency of procuring the additional generation capacity, will require either what we call a solicited or unsolicited procurement approaches, based on the recommendation and approval of the Energy Commission, especially where the government is not in the position to invest in additional generation capacity to meet the growing demand.
The cost of power in the country is one of the most expensive in the West African sub-region.
Now, juicy packages are up for grabs at this year's EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Of course, at the Accra International Conference Center, scores of exhibitors are showcasing products and services to meet your housing needs. My colleague Stella Sogli was at day one of the main event and has come through with this report.
The 12th edition of the EcoBank Joint Use Habitat Fair has begun frantically. Now there are lots of exhibitors, over 60 exhibitors here with all your housing needs, from nails and locks to real estate companies, aluminium roofing sheets, kitchenwares, everything you need to build or buy that dream house that you've been wanting. This year's event is under the theme Home Ownership, to build or to buy. Let me take you in to speak to some of the exhibitors on what they have in store for us. I'm expecting some whooping and exciting discounts. So why did you decide to join this year's fair?
For many years now, let me say over a decade, Joy Habitat Fair has been like the biggest housing fair in Ghana, and so this year we thought it wise to jump onto the train and, you know, take advantage of the platform you're giving.
Why should anyone come to your stand?
Okay, so we're promising them 3 things with regards to our product, Lakeside Village. The plan is to sell 500 townhouses, or to build 500 townhouses across the Lakeside community. This is the very first phase of 24 that we've started with. At Lakeside Village, you can expect 3 things. You can expect privacy, you can expect security, and then you can expect comfort there as well.
Tell us, what items do you have on exhibition today?
Okay, so today we are showing 2 of our newest developments. We haven't launched them yet, so these ones are kind of like a sneak peek. People at the fair get to see them for the first time, and then we officially launch them later in November. So we have, I'm not sure if you can see here, but we have Teko, which is in Chado. It's a 3-bedroom house in Chado. Over there we've got Romana Gardens. That's a 2- and 3-bedroom sustainable green home in Oyarifa as well. And we've got over here the Nakwale Apartments, also in Chado. So these are the 3 that we really want to showcase to people today. Well, for the whole fair really, and to get them really excited about it, because we're all very excited and passionate about all of these homes, and we think people will really love them. And the great thing is all of them have promotions on them right now. So if you come and you visit us, please expect and ask us for the promotion price as well. So we're really hoping people come and ask questions, because we have a lot to tell you. Yeah.
Talk of affordable homes. How competitive are your prices?
So in terms of affordable homes, we really try and make sure that our prices are competitive in terms of the value and the quality that we offer. So our homes in Chado start at, currently with the promotion price, our homes in Chado starts at $84,000. And that's for Chado. If you understand Chado and how Chado works, that's a really good price. It's really competitive. And then we have the 2 bedrooms in Oyarifa as well, the 2 bedroom and the 3 bedroom. So with the promotion prices, that also starts at $74,000. And so for us, it's the quality that we're giving you, the flexibility, because we believe that you can still have your dream home with us. And so we build off plan. And so what that means is that we are open to any changes and requests that you want to make internally. And we're very flexible with that as well. So for the price that we offer you, the fact that we are also still very flexible with the floor plans and the designs, I think it's something that gives people a lot of options.
So our expectations are that we'll have a lot of customers coming in to patronize our new products, which is the vacuum press mattress, and then our bed frames that we just introduced. We deal in sofa and furniture, but this time we are here at the exhibition with our mattress. So it comes in the vacuum packed, and then when you open it, it inflates and is ready to use in about 2 to 3 hours. So our expectation is that we have a lot of customers coming in to patronize our products.
All right, so apart from the vacuum bed that you have, what other products do you have for customers?
Okay, so we have the bed frames as well. We have the pillows. We have sofa. We have the ascent chairs. We have wardrobe, bedside, everything for your home. Actually, you will get it at Sofa GH.
The program began about a few hours ago. How has it been like for you?
We've had some few customers passing through. I was surprised because we are now setting up. We were not expecting people to come in, but we've had some people coming in who have shown interest, and others have promised to come back to come and buy.
Since you came, have your expectations been met?
Yes, very, because I'm also from a company, and then I'm here to actually connect with the industry colleagues, and I construct cabinets, I sell wood boards, countertops, and I'm from Wilhelm WS Venture. So me coming here is very good. I met some industry colleagues, and we are in business.
From today to the 1st of November 2021, the Accra International Conference Center is a place to be because the Ecobank Joint Youth Habitat Fair serves as a one-stop shop for all your housing needs. This is the place to make that home ownership decision, to build or to buy. My name is Stella Sogli-Jejom for Joy Business.
And of course, the mega event started today, so it's going to run through till Monday. So please make your way to the Accra International Conference Center for all your housing needs. That's how we end business, but we have sports coming next to stay.
Thanks for joining me again for sport. I am Hans Mensah-Dona. A Ghanaian sports physician has urged Ghana striker Rafael Domina to consider early retirement following his recurring heart problems. The 26-year-old is in a stable condition after he was rushed to the hospital on Wednesday during an Austrian Cup match. The Ghanaian saw a move to Premier League side Brighton and Hove Albion collapse in 2017 as a result of a reported failed medical due to that heart condition. Now, speaking on Sports Today, Dr. Prince Pambo, member of the CAF Medical Committee, has urged Rafael Domina to quit football.
Whatever I am going to say, it's just my personal opinion and does not represent the position of any organization that I'm affiliated to or the practice I even represent. Personally, if Domina is my patient, I will sit Domina down and probably call a year or two off, all right, to deeply go into whatever problem it is. And probably I will be tilted towards wanting to prepare him very well for a beautiful retirement from sports. I think when some of these things happen, a bold decision would have to be taken, and I'll be tilted towards wanting to prepare my patient to have a clean and a very good exit point, and see how he can use the experience he's gathered from playing football to help the same industry, probably from a technical point or an administrative side of things, like you rightly said. whatever journey that begins definitely comes to an end. And when we have health here, then you would want to take a critical look at things and take that bold decision. So personally, I'll be tilted towards wanting to say, hey, let's call some time off, probably go into deeper investigations of whatever it is, and then have that heart-to-heart talk and then take that decision. And I'll be tilted towards wanting to say, hey, the end of the journey is near, and let's prepare for a very beautiful exit.
All right.
Now, the Ghana Premier League season begins on Friday, and newcomers BBN Gold Stars say their home venue, Dunes Park, is ready to host games. Here is a report by Love FM's Delali Atiasi.
The management of BBN Gold Stars says the Dance Park, which has been okayed by the GFA's Club Licensing Board, is ready to host Premier League matches. Indeed, 2 months ago, when this team visited the facility, it was nowhere near how it's looking now. With the stands almost ready and the safe zone well in place, all look set for Gold Stars to host their first game of the season against Brekum Chelsea on Sunday, according to club CEO Kwesi Edu.
I think it has been a sleepless night job. After the qualification process, I need to get my engineers on board. We sat down and did a strategy that, look, we need to get the minimum requirement that will get the team the nod to play in Vianney Dance Park. And we realized that the basic requirement, one, was the safe zone area and getting the inner perimeter well resourced, and also getting the underground tunnel so that players coming from the dressing room will be safe. Looking at the criteria set by the Club Licensing Board, those were the basic requirement. So we matched all our resources towards that. Looking at the stadium as it stands now, we understand that there's a lot more to do. But we tried as much as possible to get the basics done, and it was rightly done point by point. You realize the last time we came here about 2 months ago, we didn't have a certain facilities here. Yes, and we were so much of a lengthy or in a rush to get the narrative for Dance Park to change. And rightly, we have gotten the narrative change for Dance Park.
And that'll be all for sport. You can read more at myjoyonline.com/sport. I am Hans Mensando. Many thanks for your time.
Thanks for staying with us here on Joy News Prime. After losing out on the regional championship to city rivals Tamale SHS, Tamale Islamic Science SHS came into their preliminary contest against Sandema SHTS and Business SHS with only one goal to win and proceed to the 1-8 stage in the competition at Kumasi. Now, the goal was almost blocked by Sandema SHTS, which gave Tamale Bay School a run for its money. But with visible zeal, Tamale Islamic SHS successfully carried the day to join St. Francis Xavier and Bolga SHS as winners of the day on day one of the prelims in the Northern Zone. Manuel Kante reports.
Discipline and hard work. Kalisku. Discipline and hard work.
Those are students from the Kaupohin SHS as they charge their contestants to go and emerge victorious in their contest on the first day of competition at the preliminary stage of the 2021 National Science and Maths Quiz in the Northern Zone. They were optimistic of a win.
No, sir, according to us, we are here now. This place, we've already qualified. We see ourselves, we are on our way to Kumasi right now.
And these kids we have here are ready, 100% ready, and no school should joke with us because we are here with full confidence. We are ready to make the day our day, and we are pushing to Kumasi, and all those schools over there, they should just be ready for Cap Point Senior High School. We are not leaving anything.
But at the end of their contest with Wa SHS and Bolgatanga SHS, their 38 points were not enough to beat Bolga SHS's 57 points.
As you monitor the contest, you could realize that from the round one, they were leading us with 4 points. And during the speed race, we tried our best and we were able to catch up with them 21-22. So I'm sure that the problem of the day didn't favor us. So that was the reason why they were able to beat us with just some 6 points. And if you check the true or false, we also did our best. We had only one negative there. So I still we put all our best on.
So now you're sweating. I see you're sweating. In the morning, confident. Now you're sweating.
Pressure. For Bolga SHS, They were due to join the day's highest scoring school, St. Francis Xavier Minor Seminary, which scored 68 points at the end of their contest. After winning the Airtel Tigo Highest Scorer Award, they challenged any school which doubted their competence to be ready to face them.
For those that would say anything about us, we would like them to face us before they can talk. The thing is, to all the other schools, it will be very, I don't actually know how to put this, but I'll be honest, unless you face us, you cannot say anything, because God has been with us ever since, and we hope that this year is going to be a different year for St. Francis.
Meanwhile, losing out on the crown as Northern Regional Champions did not deter Tamale Islamic SHS from winning their contest to book a place in the 1/8 stage. They hope to be the first school to bring NSMQ glory to the region.
We didn't want to lose. We did not want to lose the contest, so we were praying to get to the 1/8 stage so that we will bring the trophy. First school to bring the trophy to Northern side, Northern region.
And the 2021 National Science and Maths Quiz is produced by Primetime Limited and sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with APSA Ghana. The broadcast of the quiz is by Joy News, supported by Cowbell Puppets Pizza, Ace Medical Insurance, Tampico, DBS Industries, and Dole Yogurt. That's it for the bulletin. Many thanks for your company. Please log on to myjoyonline.com. You find many stories there. I'm Ernest Domina.